It is the Riot Podcast. Hey, everybody.
Welcome to
Hey, you. You're probably listening alone. So
way to bring it up and make him feel bad.
Yeah. Make him feel real lonely. You're here with us, okay? You feel a little better now?
I oftentimes feel that I want to listen to a podcast alone.
Well, yeah, that's normally the... you're by yourself and you want to, enjoy the time. It's not like you gather your friends around to listen to the podcast.
The podcast release, everybody. Crowd around.
Hey, that's like old time radio right there.
Yes.
Come to the desk and listen to us podcast. But you're right. You're not alone. We're here with you.
Yes, we are. So what's in the show today, Isaiah?
So today, early on, we talked about how hiring managers, we kind of flipped the script on them. So typically they were the ones ghosting people. Now they're being ghosted.
Yeah.
And I can relate to this because I got ghosted when I was applying for jobs.
You did?
Oh my gosh.
Aww.
I probably applied for over 100 jobs.
Yeah.
Really?
And I probably heard back from like 8. Not even
and we
joking.
count as one?
Well, yeah, you guys. Well, that was after my initial applies. You guys just were the ones silly enough to hire me.
After 100 other places rejected.
The term
Yes,
is not
exactly.
ghosted, but we need to come up with something else.
Yeah, rejected. I don't know, but yeah. So now,
Bamboozled.
Yeah, hoodwinked, whatever you want to call it. I am here now, and you guys can't get rid of me for now, at least for today. But yeah, they talked about that on the show today and how it's kind of just flipped around, which I don't feel bad for them at all whatsoever.
No,
I don't feel bad.
It's hard to shed a tear when sometimes the most you would get for applying for jobs until the pandemic happened would be they'd send you an automated email when you apply that would say, we received your application. Mm-hmm. We'll get back to you shortly. And then they never get back to you shortly.
Yeah, but you're blanket applying, though. I'm like I feel bad for the people.
You're targeted?
Well, I mean, you're blanketing like just a sweeping thing of they must be evil when the people that could be getting ghosted, just like when you got ghosted on that one date, it feels bad. So try not to act that way.
At least the hiring managers are getting paid to feel bad.
And there's a difference between a big company ghosting you and it's not even done. It's like even by a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's an actual person.
Yeah, it wasn't actually you. Just like your resume didn't apply to what we're doing.
And you never hear back.
Man, real quick though, for companies, maybe everybody would be a little more, like I'm talking the big companies that use the hiring software.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody would be, I guess now you're only finally feeling the brunt of it. But maybe everybody would be a little more patient with you if just with your scanning software, if when you scanned a resume and you knew you weren't going to use it, you could just send out a thing that said your resume scanned too badly. So
that made me feel so much better.
Yeah, right.
Than just getting ghosted.
Try rewording your resume to include all the keywords appropriately, and then we might actually talk to you.
But this ghosting is different. This ghosting is when someone's trying to hire someone and they maybe even accepted the job, but they just don't even show up.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Yeah.
We talked about that. We also talked about if you're getting ready for Halloween, some dentists are going to give you some tips on how you can try to keep your teeth healthy while eating so much candy.
They don't want you healthy, though. They want you coming in. So
yeah, you're right. Maybe they do want you to eat. There's like, these are the ones you need to eat.
Is it
so that you
a
come
false
see me.
flag from the dentist telling you? Because they do say, they give you the healthy... What the alternatives of, if you're going to have Halloween candy, this is what you should have that's best.
Yeah.
That's the least worst for your teeth. And maybe that's just all a trick to get us to come in.
Is
more
anyone
often.
a dentist or a hygienist to where is the week after Halloween the busiest when it comes to drop-ins and emergency calls?
Yeah.
Because everybody ripped all their stuff out of their teeth.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up.
I remember when I was young, I used to have the caps on my teeth, whenever I get a cavity, and I don't remember what it was, but I was eating some sort of sticky candy, and I pulled one of those off. And my mom was furious. She was so mad at me. I was in the car with her, and all of a sudden I was like, I think my cap just came off, and I forget what I was eating. I probably convinced her to get some sort of snack at a gas station. She didn't even want to get for me anyway.
Yeah.
And then I pulled out my cap.
I lost all mine, and I remember going to the dentist, and they're like, "Yeah, they don't last long." But no one told my mom that. So my mom thought,
and they're expensive.
You did something wrong, and you're just like, I didn't do anything wrong.
I don't know why I fell out.
You just fell for it.
Yes.
Can I one up you guys each?
Yeah.
With the one time that I had one of mine come out. You know what I was eating?
What were you eating?
Just guess.
A hot dog?
Yes!
You were eating a hot dog and it came out? How's it even possible?
You're so predictable.
Late teenager Hudson I was still in high school, I think, and yep, I had one of my filling things came out.
How's it even
How does
possible?
that filling come out?
I don't know. It kind of feels like it was just going to come out anyways, and it just happened to be while I was eating a hot dog. But
well, I guess if you're eating, there's a high chance that it will be a hot dog. I mean, for you,
the odds are
exclusively.
Hey, I haven't had hot dogs in weeks.
Okay. Yeah, your body still hasn't recovered yet.
I don't think it's. I think
because we're out of hot dog
That's
season,
right,
like I said. You know, we're not in hot dog season anymore. Therefore, you have to
you
stop.
want some applause?
Yeah, good work.
Yes, I
Good
do.
work.
I do. You guys, this is what you've done to me. You've taken one of my few joys in life and taken it away.
Get back into hot
Hudson
dogs.
looks at the hot dogs of the store. He's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I want it so bad, but I
stare
can't.
longingly into the case.
Well, enjoy the podcast today. Definitely text and say hi. Text 877 to Radio U. Or if you've not yet followed us, make sure you subscribe and get notifications from our Facebook page at Radio U Riot or our YouTube channel at Radio U Riot, because tomorrow we're going to be doing a Riot after show.
Yes.
Where Isaiah has to go get us Burger King. This is at least drive-through, so this isn't bad.
It'll be easy.
The Burger King Ghost Pepper Nuggets and the new boneless wings from Arby's.
Yes, coming soon. So
and watch your teeth.
Prepared for that. Hey, those should be fine for our teeth.
That's what
Not
you
for
said
everything
with the
else in
hot
our
dog.
life.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will again. All right, we will catch you later.
Bye.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It's not Halloween related, but we are going to talk about something spooky.
I love the picture on the article.
I know, me too.
It's just a ghost that's like a sheet, like a white bed sheet.
The classic, just you cut the holes out of your bed sheet to be a ghost for Halloween, like Charlie Brown did in The Great Pumpkin.
But this is a different type of ghosting?
This is a different type of ghosting. This is...
and not a dating ghosting?
No, that's what you probably typically think of ghosting is in regards to dating.
Friends, yeah.
But this is actually in regards to hiring and job applications where, we're in a time where I guess you could say job seekers have the upper hand as opposed to the hiring managers who for so long they just had their pick of millions, and you'd listen to the ZipRecruiter ads and it'd be like, how can you sift through so many millions of candidates and possibly pick out the one that's qualified when you have so many people to choose from?
Sure.
And now it's the opposite. It's like, I don't know if we can find the right person for this job because not everybody wants to get a job. So the job seekers have the upper hand, which has led to hiring managers are saying ghosting, where they will reach out, the hiring managers will reach out, even set up an interview, even potentially hire somebody for a job, and then they will disappear.
They'll turn around.
Never answer.
Never show up. Or they'll just start and then quit right away.
Yeah.
So it's a thing.
And so some people, the hiring managers are complaining and saying, and employers are so not happy with this. They say it's unprofessional, but some people are pointing out, and I kind of like this, that hasn't hiring managers been doing that forever? Because, Nikki, this is actually great. You've done hiring, right?
I've done hiring, yeah.
Why do I know the simple answer is in the past, hiring managers, people that are doing hiring would have so many applications that they couldn't be expected to at least send out some kind of automated email to tell people they didn't get selected. But why can't they send out an automated email that just tells people don't keep holding your breath because it's not happening?
I don't know. I mean, we've never, Radio U is not large enough to have the problem with that.
Yeah.
I think that's only if you're a part of a massive organization. So the personal touch of letting someone know that they're not going to work out is something that we've always been aware of in common with. Never ghosting unless it's been super awkward. Sometimes someone can make it awkward.
I was gonna say the one thing that comes to mind, and I don't know that it's a valid excuse, but sometimes and you could apply this to dating and many other things in life, just the simple fact that you reopen the connection if you haven't been in contact for a while to say, hey, it's over.
Yeah.
It will still be like, they'll be like, oh, so it's still, there's still a chance, you're saying.
You contacted me back.
Yeah. So, good to hear from you. So.
I think that's why. It's just odd. I think it's odd when I look through all the hiring and stuff and all the prompts people are having when someone says they'll take a job and then they don't end up coming in. And that's when ghosting happens too. That seems like you went through all the effort.
Yeah,
why
right.
don't you just, like, why? So that's a weird one.
You know what I think it is? If you're looking for a job, you don't just apply to one place, right? Like you cast a wide net, and so maybe you got hired at two places at the same time.
Sometimes you get a few fish.
Actually, that happened not with RadioU, but with the previous station I worked at. I had the opportunity to work at a it was a minor league baseball team.
You did?
Yeah.
But not playing baseball? Or
No, I wasn't going to be playing baseball. I was going to be playing the music. I was going to be like their DJ. And they offered me the job, but I had a thing out at another radio station.
Get another opportunity.
And I was like, you know what? I think at that other radio station, I'm going to hold out on that. And it worked out. And then it worked out to come here. So
I'm just going to cast this wide sheet out there and just say, don't ghost anyone if you can. Don't ghost a boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, possible employer.
Yeah.
Because things turn and change and you never know when that might hurt you later down the road.
That's right. In business, you always want to keep good relationships if you can, even if, you know what, maybe other hiring managers, other employers have hurt you in the past and they've ghosted you after you went through a nice interview that you thought went well. But that doesn't mean you need to hurt your current hiring managers.
Hudson, hurt people hurt.
That's right.
Remember that.
Hurt people. Keep that in mind, whether it's dating or applying for jobs.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, we get the next installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So we get the Eternals?
Yes, we do. And I was going to say not a moment too soon, but it's too soon for me. I'm still 2 installments behind. I haven't seen Black Widow. I haven't seen Shang-Chi.
Well, you watched Dune. You saw Bond. So you just been
keeping up.
You've been keeping up nicely, but just with non-Marvel content.
Yeah, not Marvel stuff because it's not been as exciting to me. I will get to Black Widow eventually and Shang-Chi once it's on Disney+. But for Eternals, so it comes out next weekend. That means the early reviews are starting to come in. And I feel like I don't want people to be fooled. If you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 73 reviews. It has 70%. I don't think that's accurate. This is where Rotten Tomatoes doesn't seem to capture. Because if you look at the negative reviews, and there's a lot of them, they're really negative.
Do you know that yesterday I saw a ton? And they say this movie's awful.
Yeah,
they
it says it's the worst.
So bad.
I feel that.
How bad can it be?
I always think that when, like, you're more the person who says, "Come on, the reviews are fake. They just pay to make the reviews nice for big movies, so that you'll go and see it, even if the Rotten Tomatoes score will be good enough to not scare you away." I'm skeptical of that, but not in this case.
You feel like they didn't pay enough to make a good review the other way?
I think there's a lot of the reviews out there that are that the critics with integrity are being honest with us, and then the critics that don't have as much integrity are giving us, are putting enough of a shine on the turd to make the Rotten Tomatoes score still nice enough.
What a nice way to put that.
Because the bad reviews are saying literally the worst Marvel movie that we've seen. And that's saying something. Because there's been a few stinkers.
They say that the writing's bad, the acting's bad.
Even though it has a star-studded cast.
Well, sometimes, though, when you get too many people that think they know, in a room together,
too many cooks in the kitchen,
then the end product is awful. Because they couldn't just kind of connect.
And what I'm even seeing, and this is what kind of hammers it home, is so the director is Chloe Zhao. She did Nomadland, which was an Oscar movie last year. I saw Nomadland. It's quite good. And so I was thinking, well, she'll do a good job with this Eternals movie. And there are people that enjoyed Nomadland that are even saying this is just too slow, that there's not enough going on for a Marvel movie, and any of the good stuff that you may find in there, which, there's the funny lines that you'll expect from a Marvel movie and some
you just don't get that.
Good moments there's a few of that, but it's all the other stuff in between makes it not worthwhile. So I know it says 70%. I don't know if I trust that score at all.
Well, they're saying the Eternals movie is bloated. That seems to be the common word, and rushed. And they say that because the director was so well known for indie movies, that doesn't work when this was supposed to be a blockbuster movie. Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, that does not always translate. And I think there's a lot of talk going into the movie about that, how it's maybe Marvel trying to cross over and appeal, because they've had a little bit of Oscar-style appeal with Black Panther and a few others that have gotten more recognition, but they weren't really made for that kind of thing. And it feels like the Eternals was they were trying to make a more award-style movie. And I don't think the award people want Marvel movies in, and I don't think Marvel people want award movies.
Now, Hudson, there is such thing as bad awards, so it could still be award-worthy.
That's right. It might make it to the Razzies.
So it could still win something. But if anybody sees it next weekend, that is low on the list.
Yeah,
so we might have to defer to you guys to tell us what you think of it.
Not
exactly.
But it's partially because I'm not caught up on all the other Marvel stuff, but it's also like
now you have a good reason
not as excited for this one at all. But maybe we're all wrong, and maybe the 70% of critics are the ones that are actually telling the truth. Who knows?
Maybe
the other critics are getting paid off by some dark money.
I love sitting there for hours watching a good bloated movie. It's perfect.
That's what I think when I think of a good movie, bloated.
Now, that's a good night out.
Oh yeah.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Do you continue the pumpkin spice smell and maybe even the drinks and other flavored things all the way up into Thanksgiving, or do you leave it behind as soon as Halloween passes?
No,
or have you already left it behind?
Well, it doesn't hold the same place in my heart as the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
But for pumpkin things, I usually keep that out until closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with pumpkins. I think that's like a fall thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't really end at Halloween. That's all the ghosts and goblins stuff.
Yeah, right, of course.
But not the pumpkin stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels, I think because pumpkin spice shows up so early every year now. We're talking the end of August when it's still 90 degrees for everybody.
Sure.
We're already breaking out the pumpkin spice. It feels like it's been around forever because it has. It's been 2 months.
But some don't really get into it until now that it's fall for most places.
Now it feels right. Well, I have some science here for you on why we love pumpkin spice this time of year. And it comes from, his name is Jason Fisher. He's a professor of psychology and brain sciences at Johns Hopkins University. And so we're asking, why do we love pumpkin spice at this time of year? He says associations form year after year, and they give us a sense of familiarity. So when you start to smell the pumpkin spice stuff in stores, it gives you the feeling of nostalgia.
Oh, for all the other past fall holidays?
Yeah, it's just like something you remember from I don't know, from growing up, or just from you just know. It's something you tie, because they always say smell is the strongest sense tied to memory.
Sure.
So
like peppermint stuff makes me think more of Christmas time.
Yeah, peppermint and like the pine tree smell, the evergreen smell, and then for pumpkin spice, that's when you know fall's coming, baby.
So if you're really into it, it's just your brain's super good at it.
Yeah.
You got a lot of fall memories, and pumpkin spice is the only way that fall memory gets out.
And that's why, to take it a little further though, as all these places try to trick us into replacing pumpkin spice with something else, like apple crisp or whatever, it's not going to work.
It doesn't have the same memories.
Because it doesn't have the same memories tied up in it.
That's interesting.
So there you go. That's why it's not just you think everybody, maybe you're the one person that's like, pumpkin spice is overrated. It's basic. Why does everybody get so excited? Because, man, we just got memories is all.
And you don't.
Yeah, you don't. Why don't you start having a little fondness for the past?
No, I wouldn't even say even I have probably then very good memories of fall stuff because pumpkin just doesn't have the same, like I don't have to have everything pumpkin.
Yeah.
But they say the aromas of like nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, that just kind of tricks our brain into mistaking some of these scents and stuff for the memories, and that's what you're drinking right there. You're drinking a cup of memories.
Oh, well, I like to put it that way. Drinking a cup of I just hope they're good memories, because if you're drinking bad memories, it sounds like you might have put something else in the drink.
Yeah, just to cope with the memories. And then you're like, well, moving to Christmas time or Thanksgiving, and there could be a whole nother set of memories.
Yeah, you're drinking the eggnog to get rid of those memories or something.
If you like pumpkin spice stuff, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
They say that's probably because you have some good memories and warm fuzzies attached to it.
There you go. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know something I noticed yesterday, Nikki? It was really sad, actually. 2 places where I drive fairly frequently. One actually is on my way to and from work.
Yeah.
There was 2 really bad accidents.
Aww.
Yeah, it was horrible to see. And, I don't know if everybody was involved wound up being okay or not. I have no idea. So very sad. And it makes you think, especially on the one where it's just kind of hard to envision how the accident could have happened, where you drive every day, the speed limit's not that high, and the results were very, it looked horrible. And it made me think to myself of how as much, I'm not a great driver, but I think I'm pretty safe. I think, I'm not putting anybody really in danger when I'm driving. But what we don't often think about while we're out driving is you can drive absolutely 100% perfectly, follow every single rule you learned in driving, just do 100% everything perfect. And all it takes is somebody else driving crazy.
Yeah.
And who knows what can happen to you. And, we all go through that, and that's a risk we all take being out on the roads. But it's true for life, too. Even if we have everything 100% good to go on our end, where we're doing everything 100% right, all it takes is one person doing something that hurts you, doing something negative that can hurt you. Even though it's not your fault, and you've been keeping up your end of the bargain, it just takes one person screwing up, and all of a sudden you still wind up getting hurt. And that's tough to think about. Again, you could live your life perfectly. Somebody else could mess it up for you, and there's not a whole lot you can actually do about that. But here's what I want to let you know, that God can help you with that. What Jesus wants to help you with is not just making sure that you do the best you can with your life and the way you live and making the best choices, but God also wants to help shield you from that hurt and be able to deal with it, because you are going to face, whether it's from your own doing or from somebody else, you're going to face issues in life. You're going to face times where you get hurt, where things don't go the way you want them to or whatever. What God wants to help you do is help you be able to cope with that, help you be able to react in the right way, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, right. Just the emotion that goes on with that. And sometimes those are the most difficult times, is where you didn't do anything wrong and still somebody else hurts you in a way you can't even imagine. And the great thing about God is, one of the many, is that he's able to understand that and help you deal with it in a way that not really anybody else can. And so if you're ready for that, to not just have, again, the guidance through life to do things right on your end, but also the protection and the peace of mind that kind of comes with, even if something goes wrong with somebody else, God's going to help me through it. Man, that is huge. And all you need to do is ask, say, hey, Jesus, I want you in my life. I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can, but I also want to make sure that no matter what happens to me, no matter what others do to me, that you're going to guide me through it. God is ready to do that for you, and all you need to do is ask. So if you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift. That's a great place to start.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you strike me as someone who might like a good 90s rom-com.
Actually, I was looking at the list, and I went through a phase where I watched a lot of these.
Yeah.
And so, I think I might be good for this.
It's time for you to go through another phase.
I know. I could go back and watch these old movies again.
Yeah, because this is a jeweler called the Shane Company. They are trying to find someone that will watch a bunch of 90s romantic comedies, and they'll pay you $1,000 to do it. They've got 10 classic films from the 90s, all with a similar theming of, an unlikely
No, they're different. They're all different. I'd say they're all different.
They're
unique.
You
in
know
their
what?
own
To be
ways.
fair, I think I've only seen a couple of them, so maybe they all do have their own twists and turns that I just don't fully grasp.
Hey, you know how there's 10?
Yeah,
I've seen them all.
you've seen all
I've
10
seen
of
all
them.
10.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, I mean, not really. This isn't something to be proud of.
No, it's impressive. It's an accomplishment. You should be proud of yourself.
No,
maybe you can save them the time to say, look, I've already seen all 10. You don't even have to pay me to go back and watch them. I've already done it.
So you think I should just tell them to give me the $1,000 right now?
I think so.
Though I might not remember all of them. But normally around this time, you get the company that would pay you to watch all the scary movies.
Yep,
So it's nice to see this one.
Yes, and of course, I'm sure next month we'll start seeing a bunch of companies that will pay if you watch Christmas movies.
Sure.
Which you're going to do anyways.
I bet I got through most of those too.
Yeah, but actually, you know what? This comes at a good time. It'd be nice to snuggle up with some romantic comedies with your special someone in between all the Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff. You need something just, when it's cool outside, you don't want to go hang out and it's a Wednesday night and there's no football going on.
Sure. Well, this is a question then. So feel free to text and tell me the answer. And this isn't just about this genre, but when it comes to these style of movies, the cheesier they are, so like with the romantic comedies, I actually prefer not to watch it with anybody.
You just want to see it all alone?
I just want to see it by myself. And then that way, if it's too cheesy, no one brings it up and no one cares. It's just... let me enjoy this romantic, cheesy movie.
Nobody has to see you cry.
Or
if you
cry
shed it,
laugh.
Yeah. So here's the list. See if anything of these ring a bell. Or Nikki, you could give us a little synopsis since you've seen them all. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I saw that.
Never Been Kissed. Clueless.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've never seen Clueless, but if you see Paul Rudd memes where it shows that he hasn't aged, they probably are initially showing Clueless because that was one of his first ever movies.
Well, have you ever seen anything with Emma from Jane Austen?
No.
Okay.
Who's that?
The book, the movies.
Jane Austen?
It's that story. Okay, never mind.
no.
It's not your thing. That's fine.
Who's the girl in Clueless? What's her name? Kira Sedgwick.
Alicia Silverstone?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Lisa Silverstone?
You want to know something funny? A fun fact I know?
What is that?
You know JR from Nights?
Yeah.
Alicia Silverstone was his crush growing.
That's funny.
I guess he probably loved Clueless.
Maybe.
But I'd be watching Clueless and in a very acceptable way.
Well, now I can't
I'd
watch
be more
it
interested in Paul Rudd.
Now I can't think and watch it without thinking, oh, yeah, JR.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've never seen it. My wife, though, loves Clueless.
Sure.
And so it's amazing that we haven't sat down and watched it together. Now, this is the one that I know that I've seen and I do enjoy. There's Something About Mary.
Okay.
Cameron Diaz, Ben Stiller, Brett Favre is in that one.
That's what you remember?
What do you mean?
I'm just teasing you.
Of course I remember Brett Favre.
Then these feel older, but Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail.
Those are both Tom Hanks.
And then Pretty Woman, Notting Hill, and My Best Friend's Wedding, and Runaway Bride.
And that's your list right there. If you can get through those 10 movies and you win this contest, you could get paid $1,000.
Doesn't feel like the $1,000 is enough.
That's $100 a movie.
Well, I know, but sometimes the offerings for these sit down and watch these movie marathons seem more than $1,000, and they're like, here, you get a free mattress and a free this and a free that.
Yeah.
But they want you to take notes, track details on each of the movies. They're seeking a hopeless romantic, and you get a worksheet for each film, which shows the entire decade, when then you need to fill out the important gossip from each love story.
Wow.
This doesn't seem like something you'd want to do
too much
at all.
pressure.
It's too much work at this point.
Yeah, and with any of these things, I'd always feel like when you apply for it, you're you're thinking, oh, this will be good. And then you watch like 2 movies and you're like, I've had enough.
You're done.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't want to have to pressure to watch the other 8.
You get the $1,000. You get $50 Amazon gift card to rent all the films. And the deadline to apply is Monday, November 22nd.
So they don't even throw any jewelry in with the deal, even though it's a jeweler.
Jeweler who's doing it?
Yeah.
No.
That's a ripoff. That's where I draw the line.
That's what
Everything
you want?
else I'm cool with. if I'm doing this for a jewelry company, you got to give me some jewelry.
Okay. You could spend $1,000 on that if you want.
That's not enough. Not enough for jewelry.
Yes, it is.
Not good jewelry.
No one said it had to be good. The movies didn't have to be
I
good.
just had an anniversary. I need to get something good.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
When Halloween rolls around, we'll be dipping into the bowl. Well, when we do start dipping into the trick-or-treat candy, we're supposed to think about our teeth as we do so, right?
Kind of a weird thought on Halloween, like thinking about the health factor of it. I probably would try to stray away from thinking about that the whole night.
Push
Well,
that
you think about
aside.
it
Yes.
the next day.
Yeah,
when the
maybe.
problems arise.
Yeah, and
but
then-
they were doing this a lot for yesterday because they used the hashtag Tooth Tuesday.
Did they?
Yeah.
Who was using that?
Who came up with
Dentist?
that?
Twitter.
Tooth Tuesday.
Hashtag people.
We have different Twitters.
Yeah, I didn't see that pop up either.
You know what? I tweeted about it. Mine was so much Dave Chappelle stuff that I muted, and I rarely mute stuff. I muted Chappelle on Twitter, not Dave Chappelle himself. I don't even think he has one, but just the word Chappelle.
so it didn't show
that I would
up.
stop showing it, and it still kept showing up.
Well,
so it didn't work.
Now you have.
That's my Twitter.
Now you
It's
need
not
to
your
go and mute the hashtag
Mute
Tooth
Tooth
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Tooth Tuesday. Go mute that.
I guess I didn't need to mute it. It just wasn't coming up for
Well,
some
they were
reason.
talking about like what is the bad candy for you to stay away from during our candy time the rest of this week.
The answer is all of it.
Is it really?
Well, pretty
actually,
much.
no. I mean,
it looks like it.
Compared to vegetables, yes, all of it. But actually, no. We have some good news and bad news. So some of the worst candy for your teeth, gummy candies like gummy bears, the worms.
That's worse, anyways.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, wait. The trolleys, though. Like, I like that stuff, but I don't like gummy bears.
Gummy
What?
bears are not as exciting.
Well, it
you went-
hurts.
What
I like
about-
gummy bears. I
You
like
do?
gummy bears a lot.
Really?
Yes.
Guess who's getting them all?
Yeah,
I'll
that's
bring it
fine.
to
There you go,
That's
yeah.
fine. Bring them in. I like gummy bears. Actually,
Gummy bears-
everything on this list I like. So.
I feel that gummy bears aren't as good of a trick-or-treating candy either way, though, because I'm sure they do sell individual packs, but who knows where to get those? So
They do.
what are you
They
just going to give a
sell-
The little
handful of
guys.
gummy bears?
Oh, no, they always come. Is it the Haribo? or
Yeah, the
whatever?
little ones.
Yeah, they come in like little
I don't think I've
packages.
seen that.
The little
Wow.
mini ones. Oh, wow.
They
What about,
are bountiful.
But talking about gummy candies, how do you guys feel about the gummy Coke bottles?
Oh,
No.
You guys
no.
don't like that?
No.
Is that the
Oh.
waxy stuff?
Yeah.
No.
Those
it's,
are the.
it's like a gummy bear. It's
those.
just it's shaped like a Coke bottle, and then like the bottom is brown, and then it's ombre.
I don't
and
think
it
I've had
fades up
that.
to
They're
like
not
a
good.
clear.
You're not missing out. They're not.
No, I think
I'm
they're good.
a Diet Coke gal.
Oh, I don't think they come in diet.
Don't they?
No,
or a
no,
Diet
no,
Dr.
they do not.
Pepper or a Sprite Zero gummy. But
All right.
no, probably pass on that.
Well, pass on all the gummies because they're bad for your teeth. They take a long time to chew, and they can get lodged in your teeth without you even knowing it. But another bad one, caramels.
Love it.
You love caramels?
Yes.
This feels like a...
This is Isaiah Hudson. He doesn't like anything like tomatoes
No.
or cucumbers.
Green
Well, everybody
beans.
loves candy. What do you
Green-
mean?
He loves candy and he's tried it all.
This is caramel's really good.
See, you strike me as somebody, you have nice teeth,
Yeah.
but it's not going to last.
No, I take care of them. I brush my teeth
Not if you're
multiple
eating
times a
caramels
day.
all the time.
I've got a car toothbrush on the
You
way to
do?
places. I brush my teeth.
What,
yeah.
like cars like Lightning McQueen?
Yes, of course. A car's toothbrush that I keep in my car. It's really cool.
Feels appropriate for you.
Don't be surprised with the rest of this list. I'm sure he loves it all.
Yeah, well, the caramels are even worse than gummies because they are very sticky and take a long time to dissolve. So that's a lot of time they're spending in your mouth, eating away at your teeth. Let's see, another one. Tacky candies, Starburst style.
Oh, those are good.
Everybody loves Starburst.
Not for your teeth, they're not.
Well, come on. Can't we just have a day?
They pull out your crowns and fillings.
I lost my, I only have a few cavities, but one cavity that, the very first one, it came out one day.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not bad. It is.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
It is. Because, again, because of COVID stuff, they're like, well, I can see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Man.
You just have this hole in your tooth.
Oh, you got to get dental gum.
It was horrible.
My mom, for years, had a cracked tooth.
Yeah.
And because it's so expensive to go to the dentist and get it fixed, and because it was cracked, it would have been really a lot. So she would just put she would just buy dental gum and fill her tooth with that.
What a trooper. That's incredible.
She did that for so long before she finally got it fixed, finally saved up the money
to do that.
Go get her tooth fixed.
Well, if you have anything like any work done or if your teeth are just recovering or something, don't mess with it. You don't want
Halloween's
that.
not
it's not going to be fun for you at all.
holiday for you.
It does say, I think, then let's stick with chocolate because that way it's less sticky.
It does. It says chocolate is the one that's actually the best for your teeth. So there you go. You have an excuse. Chocolate and caramel apples are the best options if you want to protect your teeth.
How's caramel apples?
Yeah.
That's the worst.
No, it's not.
It's different because it's like a thin layer.
Or like the candy apples.
It says, although the caramel is sticky, the apples are crisp and help clean the surfaces of the teeth.
Gosh, can we, guys, every holiday, can we stop having these lists that just tell us what to do?
Yeah. I'm going to enjoy whatever I want to enjoy. You can tell me what's bad and good. I'm still going to eat it.
My defiance disorder is really having a tough time with all
I want
these.
it more now. Now I want it more.
Just pass the gummy bears,
Yeah.
okay?
I want all the sugary treats.
The gummy Coke bottles.
I'll take whatever you got.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
I know this may upset you, but I really feel like this is the last time we're going to talk about Dune for a while.
Until Dune 2 comes out.
We're gonna have to put it aside until then. But this is the news that leads to that. They have officially confirmed, HBO Warner Brothers has officially confirmed that Dune Part 2 will be happening. And at the moment, it's scheduled for a plan for an October of 2023 release.
I'm not surprised. Basically, they started to become more and more transparent about it because people were getting more and more mad about Part 1.
Yes.
Being so just a intro into Part 2.
Uh-huh.
And that was upsetting people because even like one of the actresses that was everywhere in the promotional stuff for the Dune movie is only in it for 7 minutes.
She only has a couple lines.
That's it. Yep. But they say like, oh, it should be more into the second one.
Yes. It's clear. Yes. Based off of the ending of the first where they leave it off. And it was funny when they did officially announce this yesterday. I thought normally when you see a big movie come out and it's like that somebody has a story to tell and they tell it in the first movie and then they announce a sequel and it feels like a money grab. With Dune, it almost feels reversed.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first movie ends the way it ends. It's just so clear that they are really setting it up for the second movie, and that's the one they really want you to go see.
So that makes me wonder for Warner Brothers, did they, and they're just not saying it, or like, why didn't they just film the second one at the same time they were doing the first one? Because they really had this planned the whole time.
I've seen...
And there's supposed to be a third one.
Yeah. And a prequel series.
It's supposed to be more cost effective, I would think.
Yeah.
To just have it, just to keep filming.
Yeah, I've seen some people say that, and I think the first answer is it's not that simple, especially for with so many big name actors involved. And since they were shooting, some people are saying they're shooting in a real desert and stuff. So it was very taxing to film the way they were doing it. And so to just continue on doing that,
when the one person had to only work 4 days.
Yeah,
they said. So I don't know about that. You mean for the crew it was harder?
Yeah, I think for maybe not the actors themselves, but getting them all scheduled in like that would be difficult. And I think there was some skepticism of or Warner Brothers wanted to be sure that this was actually not going to be a flop, because it is one of those things. This could have been the cautionary tale is John Carter. That was the Disney movie.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember coming out years ago? Like, not that long ago.
Denzel Washington? No?
Oh, no.
Wait.
Some white guy that hasn't done anything since. But it was a similar thing. It's like a big space opera type thing.
That one.
And it was similar source material where it's like how it's just so ambitious, the book that it's based off of, that how can anybody have the budget and to be able to even create the world that they'll do? And then Disney finally bit the bullet and did it. And it was supposed to spawn this whole universe. And then it turned out nobody went and saw it. It was one of the biggest flops ever. And so I think
they didn't want that.
Warner Brothers had that in the back of their minds, that the type of movie it is, a giant scope, you can't cut corners on it. It has to look just amazing and has to feel huge. So you can't make a low budget version of Dune. You have to just go all out for it. And so they didn't want to go all out for multiple movies before they knew that it was actually going to pay off.
But I feel like the bar was so low for them to make only a tiny bit of money and be like, yeah, we'll make a second one.
That's another concept that's coming up, is that
because it didn't make that much.
Yeah, that the same release on HBO Max was one of the best things that could have happened to it.
Diamonds might be most girls' best friend, but for Nikki, it's DoorDash. The Riot on Radio U.
How much time, be honest, do you spend on 11 Warriors?
I don't spend that much time on 11 Warriors. I do follow them on many different things, but I don't read their articles every day. But this one was really interesting.
What's 11 Warriors?
11 Warriors is the it's like the Ohio State like the site, the blog, basically.
They do a bunch of articles on Ohio State sports.
Like any of the big colleges, and Ohio State obviously is a big one when it comes to college sports, they'll have a site that's just like anything that ever applies to anything related to Ohio State sports.
It goes on there.
It'll go on there, and some people spend a ton of time. There's somebody listening right now. It's like, hey, don't make fun of me for spending. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying.
When someone's just saying,
a
lot of times it's about trolling or just asking why.
I'm just saying there's other things in life. I feel that there's I guess what I'm really trying to say is 11 Warriors is not something you just dabble in. It's either you're totally in 11 Warriors or you don't even check in on it all.
Well, it's a good thing that I checked in on it this morning because they have a good story. I thought this was really funny.
Okay, so, why don't you just share it with us?
Yeah, so James Franklin, who's the head coach of Penn State, we talked about this earlier this week. They lost to Illinois, who's a terrible team, terrible program really for the last very many years.
And Penn State had been doing really well.
Penn State was ranked like 7, having a great season, trying to get into the college football playoff, and they ended up going into 9 overtimes, the longest game ever, and then losing to Illinois.
The longest game by overtimes, but we all know, if you know that it was just 2-point conversions over and over again, it changes the way you see
how long the game actually was. But this week, he had a pretty rough press conference.
Yeah,
it didn't go as he wanted it to.
He is being rumored as the new coach, one of the options for USC football in
the
California.
Penn State coach?
Yes, okay. James Franklin. So he was being asked about what what is he thinking about possibly being the USC coach or whatever. So he goes, my focus isn't on that. My focus is completely on our next game on Illinois.
Oh, but he already played.
They just played Illinois.
But
So
his comment about focusing was not very focused.
So here's what I'm wondering.
He misspoke.
Do you think that shows that maybe his focus is so much on this game that he can't even focus on answering the question properly because he's so focused on Ohio State? Or is he trolling and trying to make fun and just saying like he doesn't even care who the next, Ohio State isn't even important to him because he's just so focused on the game.
They were also saying that the Penn State coach called Ohio Stadium the Big House,
which is Michigan Stadium.
He's trolling you guys.
I don't know if he's trolling. He might just be confused.
It sounds like he's flustered. I think after losing to Illinois, like he just doesn't feel right, and he came in the press conference and he knew he was about to get drilled, and so either he did this to try to get the pressure off of himself and try to be like, okay, this guy clearly is like completely out of whack, or he is just out of whack. He's completely. flustered.
he's just trying to get you thrown off. He's like, yeah, it's a big game coming up. War Eagle. They could really give us a run for our money.
The
but
Wolverines are going to be tough this weekend. I don't know what to say.
They roll tide. It's just what they do. And he just go through and he's trying to rile you guys up, trying to make it feel like it's not actually a big deal to his team.
Well, Mr. James, I would say if you don't focus in, we're going to roll you by 50. That's how it's going to go on Saturday.
He's just trying to keep his team relaxed by saying, hey, it's a big game, but you don't have to treat it different than any other game.
Yeah, it's just like playing Illinois. Except this week you're playing Ohio State.
Everybody seems to be mentioning for USC for getting a new coach. So, who's the guy coaching now? And is he well aware that?
Yeah.
Is he a fill-in coach?
Yeah, it's an interim. It's an interim coach right now.
He has a shot of being the new USC coach. I don't know. I don't remember his name because he wasn't especially well known. He's actually new to the program, but he's got a shot. The last coach for USC who overstayed his welcome had a similar situation. To whoever it was before got fired. He stepped in as interim and actually got to coach USC for many years. It didn't work out so well because he just got fired himself. So now there's a different interim guy that they like. I just don't know if he's ready for full-time head coach material.
I just keep hearing talk about that, and I keep thinking, well, the poor coach is doing it now. Everything keeps brought up as a replacement for him.
His name is Dante Williams, and right now he's the coach. But at the end of the season, I don't think he's going to be the coach anymore.
Well, to be fair. Well, not necessarily to be fair, but he hasn't done great so far. They've still been playing pretty terrible even after they fired the other coach that people thought was the problem.
Now, call it just at least consistent. There's consistently being one way.
You know what you're getting every Saturday. You tune in, you know what you're getting.
That's right.
James Franklin, the Penn State coach, he really should have said, my focus is really on the Trojans.
I know.
Yes.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
I love this, Nikki. A new Guinness World Record has just been set. The tallest ever stack of stacking chairs.
That's the world record?
That's a new world record.
I didn't know there was one to begin with.
17 feet.
Oh, of stacked chairs?
Yeah, 17 feet in the air.
Why? Where did this come about? Who's doing this?
I would have expected it might have been like a
church,
I was thinking, like a middle schooler after an assembly or something.
Yes, exactly.
He thinks he's not very talkative, but he thinks this is something that'll get the girls' attention.
Yeah, he can stack chairs.
No, it's actually a 37-year-old man, which I guess makes it a little sadder, doesn't it?
It's outside of a banquet hall, which does make sense.
Yeah,
outside of Manchester, England, where he's a restaurant manager there. And he broke the previous record of 15.5 feet for stacking chairs.
He beat it by quite a bit.
Dude, he says stacking the chairs can be very dangerous.
What? You don't want 17 feet worth of chairs falling on you.
I guess. I don't know. He said it's important they picked. Oh, so it was outside.
Yeah.
It was important they picked, obviously, because it was so high, that they picked a day where the wind was very light, so it didn't blow over. Yes,
that's a good point. If you've ever stacked chairs, those stackable chairs, they can be very wobbly once you get high enough. So, you add wind into the equation. You don't want that.
So weird. The rules that Guinness gave him during the attempt is the chairs are not allowed to touch like a ladder, but if they collapse in the direction of the ladder, someone could be hurt. So they kind of monitor this one.
Yeah.
He had 3 practice attempts before making the official world record attempt on the 4th try.
And I also, the failure of this is that there's no picture with it.
I want a video. I bet you could find it on
picture,
YouTube.
There's no video because I don't even understand. I'm just picturing that if it's 17 feet worth of stacked chairs, it's just like one on one on one on. Like that would be what we're talking about, right? But if you stack chairs, you can only stack them in one direction, so they just keep leaning and leaning and leaning. You know what I mean?
You want to see how much it leaned?
Yeah, or how is that physically possible for that kind of chair to stack like that?
Oh, no. It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's a stacking miracle.
He got $2,000 for charities to help the homeless for it. He thinks this is really something. He says, my aim is to set an example and inspire the younger generation to have some social responsibility.
For setting an example for middle school boys everywhere.
If you've ever had the job of stacking something after an assembly.
It can pay off, and eventually you could raise $2,000 for charity.
See,
if nothing
when I was in school, our assemblies, we had the risers that went into themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was who got the job of pushing the risers in. But we didn't have to stack chairs.
Those could be dangerous.
Well, so can stacking chairs.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to get closed up in one of those risers, though.
This manager also had a Guinness World Record when he created a stack of tortillas in 2018, but his record has been broken.
He was born to stack.
That is his gift.
That's his license plate. It's like BRN2STCK, and people are kind of confused. That has to be his license plate.
He stacks tortillas. He stacks chairs. He's got some talent.
Shout out to Jay Asan. He said he wanted to do something different, take on a big challenge, and the record is not for himself, but for his company, city, and country.
Wow, he's really proud of himself, which I guess is great.
He's from the UK. You've really made the UK very proud.
17 feet high. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll never do that.
I don't want to. There's a difference, I think. I don't want to try.
Because you know you couldn't.
We would always be like, hey, who can get out of stacking the chairs? We're the opposite.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.